Hawks Pistons, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Detroit's -9.5. Total is 232 and a hook. We cashed in on 7 winning plays on my premium page yesterday for Sunday. And as good as the Pistons have been, well, they've actually struggled against the point spread over the past week or so. Failed to cover in 3 out of their last 4 games. Having some issues on the offensive end of the floor at times. For one, the Pistons have been little threat shooting the long ball. They're averaging just 11 made three-pointers a game. That's second lowest in the entire NBA. When it comes to shooting from the stripe, the Pistons make only 74% of their foul shots. And they're taking on an Atlanta squad who's played some pretty solid defense on the road this year. Top 10 in fewest points allowed in their travels. And when it comes to the point spread, the Hawks are covering in 62% of their road games. Now, injury-wise, Porzingis and Dante sat out yesterday for Atlanta. Keep an eye on those guys. Meanwhile, for the Pistons on the other side, Robinson and LeVert are questionable. Clinton's still out. Pistons with unders in 2 out of their last 3. Atlanta with unders recently against Charlotte and New Orleans. Plus 9.5, under 232 and a hook. Cavaliers, Pacers, 7 o'clock East. Cleveland's -6, totals 233. Cleveland's 12-9 on the year. Indy just 4-16. The Pacers are in the bottom 10 in points allowed, bottom 5 in defensive boards. They're facing a Cleveland squad who's had little problems scoring on the road. They're averaging over 122 points a game away from Cleveland. When it comes to shooting the 3 ball, they're averaging a league-high 17 made three-pointers a game on the road. Donovan Mitchell over 30.5 points a game. Jalen Tyson, 46% of his three-pointers. Allen and Nance are out. Ball and Merrill sat out yesterday. Keep an eye on them. Meanwhile, for the Pacers, Jones, Jackson, Furphy, and Neesmith are still out for them. Pacers with overs against Detroit, Charlotte, and Utah. Cleveland road games have gone 6-3 to the over themselves. I like Cleveland -6, over 233. Bucks, Wizards, 7 o'clock East. Milwaukee's -9, totals 233.5. For a team laying nearly double digits in this spot here, the Bucks are just 9-12 on this season. All kinds of issues on the offensive end of the floor. For one, they're the worst free throw shooting team in the game. They're actually making just 67% of their foul shots on the road this year. And because of that, they're averaging only 109 points a game away from the Fiserv. And they're facing a Washington team who's done a nice job against the point spread in their recent gatherings with the Bucks. They cover the number in 6 out of their last 10 head-to-head meetings. So if you're into historical trends, certainly want to think about that one there. And as far as this year, Washington covered in 3 out of their last 5. Covers against the likes of Atlanta, Chicago, and Minnesota. Now, injury-wise, Sarr is questionable for the Wizards. Cooper's out. Meanwhile, for the Bucks, Giannis is questionable for them. Milwaukee with unders in their last 4 straight. 7-2 to the under in their road games. Meanwhile, Washington with unders against the Pacers, Bulls, and Timberwolves. Give me Washington +9, under 233.5. All right, next matchup, Hornets and Nets, 7:30 Eastern start. Charlotte's -4, totals 227. Now, Charlotte's just 6-14, but Brooklyn's actually worse at just 3-16. When it comes to defensive play, well, the Nets are allowing 121 points a night at the Barclays Center. Opposing shooters are making just about 52% of their field goals against them in their own building. They're facing a Charlotte team who definitely shoots it well from the stripe, also rebounds well on the offensive end of the court. Con Knipple, he's shooting 41% from downtown. Miles Bridges, team leader in scoring. Now, injury-wise, Williams, Connaughton, and Green are out. Trey Mann's questionable. Meanwhile, for the Nets on the other side, Terrence Mann, he's questionable for them. Charlotte with overs recently against the Clippers, Pacers, and Bucks. 5-4 to the over in their road games. Give me the Hornets -4, over 227. Bulls, Magic, 7:30 East. Orlando's 8.5. Totals 238 and a hook. And even though the Magic's favored by several baskets, they've definitely had their problems covering at home. They're just 50% against the point spread in their own arena. They've also been little threat shooting the long ball. Actually dead last in the league in three-pointers made on their own court. And they're facing a Chicago team who got the W against Washington, Portland, and Denver in recent outings. Now, injury-wise, Collins and Terry are doubtful for the Bulls. Smith is out. Meanwhile, for the Magic, Banchero and Wagner are out for them. 6 out of the Magic's last 10 gatherings with Chicago did stay under the total. So if you're into historical trends, plenty of unders to go around. Chicago with unders in 5 out of their last 6. Give me the Bulls plus 8.5, under 238 and a hook. Clippers Heat 730 East. Miami's -6. Totals 234. The Heat's 13-7 on the year. LA's just 5-15. More recently, the Clips are on a 4-game skid, just 2-8 straight up in their road trips. LA gives up 120 points a game on the road, bottom 5 in guarding the 3-ball. And they're facing a Miami squad who's scoring more points a game than any other roster besides one. Tyler Hero shooting 50% from beyond the arc, 25 points a game. And Norm Powell's drilling 44% of his long balls as well, 24 points a night for him. Now, injury-wise, Johnson and Jaquez are questionable for Miami. Bogey is out on the other side of things. And lost my notes here. Clipper games went 6-4 to the over in their last 10, 60% to the over in their road games this year as well. And oddly enough, the Heat saw overs in 6 out of their last 10 themselves. I like Miami -6, over 234. Next game, Mavericks, Nuggets, 9 o'clock East. Denver's 11.5, totals 233 and a hook. And even though the Nuggets are 14-5 on the year, they've definitely had their issues covering the point spread over the past few weeks. Denver failed to cover in 4 out of their last 7. Failures to cover against the likes of San Antonio, Sacramento, and New Orleans. When it comes to defensive play, they're allowing the majority of their points late in games. They're in the bottom 10 in second-half points allowed. They're facing a Dallas team who covered recently against the Clippers, Heat, and Knicks. Cooper Flagg's averaging over 16.5 points a game. Max Christie shooting 44% from beyond the arc. Now, injury-wise, Williams, Gafford, and Washington are questionable for the Mavs. Strother and Gordon out for Denver. Nuggets with overs in their last 4 straight, 7-2 to the over in their last 9. Meanwhile, Dallas with overs recently against the Lakers and Blazers. I like the Mavericks plus 11.5, over 233 and a hook. Rockets Jazz, 9 o'clock East. Houston's 12.5, totals 232. And even though the Rockets are 13-4 on the year, they are facing a Utah team who's covering in 73% of their contests in Salt Lake City. They're the highest home scoring team in the entire NBA. And a lot of that is thanks to second chances. Utah's in the top 3 in offensive boards per game. Lauri Markkanen leads the roster in points per contest. Keontae George with 22.5 points a game himself. They're taking on a Houston squad who does struggle at times defending the 3-ball. Bottom 10 in 3-pointers allowed per game. When it comes to the number, the Rockets did fail to cover recently against Denver, Orlando, and San Antonio. Now, injury-wise, Finney Smith sat out yesterday for the Rockets. Keep an eye on him. Meanwhile, for the Jazz, Kevin Love was out yesterday. Also want to keep an eye on his status. Utah with overs in 7 out of their last 9. 73% to the over in all of their home games. Meanwhile, Houston with overs in 60% of their contests away from home. I like Utah plus 12.5, over 232. And with that, folks, we're going to jump into our next and final breakdown for the video. Suns, Lakers, 10 o'clock East. LA's -6, totals 234.5. Lakers failed to cover recently against the Pelicans, Jazz, and Thunder. And when it comes to defensive play, the Lakers have definitely had their issues on their own floor. They're giving up nearly 120 points a game at home, bottom 3 in defensive field goal percentage in their own building. And they're facing a Phoenix squad who does a nice job shooting the deep ball, top 10 in 3-pointers made. Allen and Green are making over 42% of their three-pointers combined. Devin Booker with over 25.5 points per contest. Now, injury-wise, Livers is out. Dunn's been upgraded to probable. Lead off for the Lakers on the other side. Ayton, Smart, and LeBron are questionable. Lakers with unders against Utah, Milwaukee, and Oklahoma City. Suns games went 4-2 the under in their last 6. Give me Phoenix +6, under 234.5. Alrighty, folks, now it's time for our quick pick recap. Give me the Hawks +9.5, under 232 and a hook. Cleveland -6, over 233. We cashed in on 7 more plays yesterday on my premium page on Sunday. Wizards +9, under 233.5. Hornets -4, over 227. Bulls +8.5, under 238 and a hook. Miami Heat -6, over 234. Mavericks +11.5, over 233 and a hook. Jazz +12.5, over 232. Give me the Suns +6, under 234.5. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium page. But most importantly, got to thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that, happy Monday to you. Best of luck to you. I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium page.